the Voch Rabbi Sai. Welcome to all the guests. Who's the guest here today? What's your name? From where? Brooklyn. You're like a real deal Brooklyner? You're born in Brooklyn? Born and raised. Wow, I love that. You know, I lived most of my life in Brooklyn. Well, not anymore. It used to be most of my life. What's your name? Tell Dailam. From? From Petach Tikva. He's the guy that runs the Petach Tikva. What? Aleichem. Very nice. Who else do we have here? Quick.
This one.
Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Michael Mandelstam.
From?
West Hempstead.
West Hempstead, New Jersey.
New York.
New York, West Hempstead. Yeah.
It's a Hamish version of the 5 tenths.
Givaldik. Who else?
Pesach Miller over here.
Whoa. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Pesach Miller.
Shalom Aleichem. From? Shalayim HaKodesh. What's your name?
Double Schwartz. Toronto.
Toronto. So it's like half the Olam's guest today. Who? You're not so new. Yeah, what's your name?
Yitzi Lauer.
You love. Okay, Givaldik. Thank you for coming. Where do you live? Yerushalayim. Shkoyach Yitzi. Somebody's hiding behind you. I don't know who. Say it. What's your name? Yeah, everyone's not with those glasses though. All right. Who else? Shalom, what's your name? From? Chicago. Oh, really? That's your father? The guy used to do real estate. I think he came a little bit to my shir like 20 years ago. In the beginning when I gave Daf Yomi, he was one of the first. Wow. How's he doing? Send me regards. And the father of the Chassan is here. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Mazel Tov. You're making the Vard is right now. 8 o'clock it started, and instead 8:44 he's here doing shir. That's the way to do it. Givaldik. Rabbi, so we have a little surprise. We're in a big rush because we have the Hebrew shir, but we have this beautiful Mizbe'ach. Really, it's really nice. Shalom Aleichem. איך קוראים לך?
שמואל ששון.
שמואל ששון. So אתה תגיד בעברית. ואני אתרגם. You have a decent English?
I understand, not speaking very good.
We need to understand, not you.
I need to speak,
Okay,
not speaking very good.
All right, so he has 2 minutes here. Let's see what you got. I don't know if you can zoom in on this. It's really nice quality. I like the chut sikra. It's not painted on. It's supposed to light up even. Wow, זה מאוד יפה. כל הכבוד. אז מה אתה מראה לנו? בוא נראה.
התלמיד החכמים של דף יומי פה, לא יודע כמה אפשר לחדש, אבל עדיין שרואים את זה בעיניים זה אחרת מאשר שלומדים את זה בעל פה. אמנם אצלכם הכל זה המחשות.
יש לנו איזה קטנצ'יק, אבל לא כזה יפה.
אבל שלומדים...
It has smoke coming out. I don't know if you noticed. There's a little smoke actually coming out right now as we speak.
המזגן קצת מפריע לו.
It's not a vape. Take it easy. Step back. Okay.
אבל למעט זה שלומדים בהמחשה, שרואים את הדברים, אז מבינים יותר טוב, רואים יותר טוב, מבינים יותר טוב. המבנה של המזבח, ודאי מכירים, יש לנו פה את המזבח מקצה לקצה 32 אמו, כולל היסוד, כולל הכבש זה עוד 32 אמו, ביחד זה אמור להיות 64, אבל הגמורה בזבוחים סמך ב' אומרת שזה סמך ב', לא סמך ב', כתוב שזה סמך ב' כי יש לנו פה את האמה שעולה על היסוד, על הסויבב, ועוד אמה שאמור להיות פה היסוד.
You're saying it's 62 instead of 64, it's supposed to be 32 plus 32,
זה בעמוד 62 זה כתוב, בסמך ב'.
כן, סמך ב', אוקיי, יפה.
יש לנו פה את השלוש...
יש לך משהו באנגלית? אתה יכול לדבר טיפה באנגלית? try.
פדיחות.
אוקיי, בסדר. זה זז?
זה בשביל לפנות את התפוח. כל יום העבודה הראשונה שעושים תרומוס הדשן, לוקחים את המחטו עם הדשן, יורדים מהמערכה הגדולה, יורדים למקום הדשן, שהיה 20 אמו מפה, 10 אמו מפה, ושופכים את הדשן. אחר כך מפנים את כל הדשן שנשאר לתפוח. אחרי שהתפוח מתמלא, אז ממלאים בעצם את הדשן לכלי שנקרא פסחתר, וכיוון שזה הרבה אפר וזה כבד, אז שתי כהנים,
very
כהן אחד
heavy.
עומד פה, כהן
They
אחד
have to
עומד פה.
remove all the coals from the תפוח in the middle and they put in the, איך קוראים לזה עוד פעם?
תפוח,
לא.
זה פסחתר.
פסחתר.
וכהן אחד מפה, כהן אחד מפה, ולוקחים אותו מחוץ לירושלים למקום טהור, שופכים את זה, זה מעץ.
למה עשית את זה חלול כשיטת רש"י?
אני חושב שזה שיטת גמורה, בנ"ד עמוד
זה לא יהיה
בייס
ממש
למעלה, כתוב שהיו חלולות. רש"י אומר שהאדם היה נכנס בפנים, על זה הטייסס חולק עליו. אבל שזה היה חלול, זה גמורה מפורשת, אני חושב בנ"ד עמוד בייס.
כולם סוברים ככה?
הגמורה אומרת.
בסדר.
הגמורה מסבירה שאיך
לא
עשו
רוצה
פה
לחלוק
את
עליך.
היסוד.
אוקיי.
איך עשו פה את היסוד? שמו פה קרשים, לא שברו, אלא שמו קרשים ביציקה איפה שאין יסוד, בחלקו של יהודו. זאת אומרת, כמו שעשו בקרנות, ששמו פה כסמים דקים. וממילא הקרנות היו חלולות. רש"י לומד שזרקו את הדם בפנים, הטייס לא מסכים איתו על זה, אבל מה שידוע לי, לכולי עלמא זה אמור להיות חלול. אבל עד הרבה, יש לנו פה את השלוש מערכות, מערכה ראשונה, מערכה גדולה, שעליה עושים את כל העבודות של היום, כל הקורבונס, כל האימורים, הכל מקריבים פה על המערכה הזאת. יש לנו את המערכה השנייה, מערכת הקטוירס, שמה מקטירים עליה? לא קטוירס, אבל מה כן מקטירים עליה?
לוקחים את זה כחולים.
לוקחים את זה כחולים למזבח הפנימי, הכהן עולה עם מחתה, לוקח כחולים, יורד למזבח הזהב שהיה בפנים ומקטיר על זה את הקטוירס. אבל כן היו מקטירים על המערכה הזאת שני בזחי לבוינו. בשבת שהיו מפנים את לחם הפונים, היו צריכים לתת חלק למזבח.
The Voino on Shabbos goes on the Ketores Maracha, אוקיי.
כן, ושמים את זה פה, אז כן היו מקטירים על זה. ויש גם קטוירס שהיו מקטירים על המזבח, שזה היה חד פעמי, של הניסים בפרשת נוסוי, זה מנוחס דף נון. בפרשת נוסוי כתוב שהיה הוראת שעה שהיו כן מקטירים קטורת על המזבח, הניסים מקטירים קטורת על המזבח. ויש לנו את המערכה השלישית, שזה מערכה לקיום האש, יש תומד תוקד על המזבח.
אש תומד.
אש תומד שיהיה פה כל הזמן אש, לא היו עושים עליה עבודות בפועל, אבל היא הייתה לקיום האש.
איפה האש ירד מהשמיים? לאיזה?
אני חושב שבמערכה הזאת, כתוב שירד מהשמיים והוסיפו לו אש.
איפה היה הנס? הנס כל יום.
אני חושב שבמערכה גדולה, אני חושב
כן, איפה...
צורה של האריה.
כן, או הכלב.
תלוי בבית מקדש ראשון או בית מקדש שני. אני חושב שזה במערכה גדולה.
אוקיי.
כתוב גם כן שבמשכון שכיסו את המערכה, שלקחו את המזבח, אז כיסו אותו גם כן בפסחתר, את האש.
אני לא רואה כאן איזה קו, היה צריך להיות כאן איזה משהו... היה צריך להיות פה קו
של מקום הילוך הכהנים, נכון. וגם פה היה צריך להיות שוליים קטנות. ואגב, אמרתם בשיעור שבסובב לא היה גדר, וכך הפשטס אמרתם על ההוא שעשה פה את המערוכת. ראיתי תפארת ישראל מעניין, שהוא אומר שכמו שפה היה שוליים קטנות, תפארת ישראל במסכת מידס, הוא אומר שכנראה גם פה היה איזשהו גדר קטנה שהכהנים לא יפלו. יש לנו פה, זה הפינה של האויל הסעויף.
לך יש כן כבש משם, הקטן.
יש פה כבש. זה הכבש שלכולי עלמא היה, שמביא לסובב למלוק את האוהל הסעוף. ויש לנו את
יש לך את השיטים כאן?
יש פה את שני ספלים לניסוך המים והיין, שזה הספל של היין וזה הספל של המים. ספל של היין כל השנה, כל יום שהיו מביאים כל קורבן, מביאים את הניסוכים ושופכים את זה כאן בספל של היין. בסוכס היה יין ומים ביחד. פה למטה יש לנו פה את שתי היסוד, יסוד רוימי, יסוד מערובי, יסוד דרוימי לקורבנות שמקריבים על המזבח החיצון.
זה השיריים.
היו שופכים את השיריים פה, וקורבנות שהיה הדם שלהם נכנס בפנים לקודש.
יש לנו עוד דקה, מה אתה יכול לתת לנו בדקה? כי אני צריך למסור שיעור. יש לי דף שלם לעשות ב-40 דקות.
תגידו אותם, מה אתם רוצים?
מה עוד? מה עוד מעניין?
יש לנו פה כבש שיורד אחרי שהכהן עלה לפה, אז יש בעצם מחלוקת בין רש"י לטייסס. לפי רש"י הוא היה חוזר חזרה ויורד מפה, הטייס אומר שזה לא כל כך מסתבר, ולכן יש כבש שיורד מפה לפי הטייסס ועוד ראשונים. ויש לנו עוד כבש שיורד ליסוד כדי שיוכל לשפוך אותה שיירי אדם אחרי שהוא שפך, למשל באולס באימו שהוא עשה 4 שם 4 על 4 קרנות, אז היה יורד ליסוד. יש לנו פה שתי שולחנות, שולחן אחד שהיו בו 93 כלי כסף היו מוציאים כל יום, שאיתם היו משתמשים.
93 silver vessels were on these two.
ושולחן שלי משיש, שעליו היו שמים את האיברים עד שמעלים
Marble,
אותם
and that's what they put the
למזבח.
Ivarim on it.
למה משיש? שהוא קר. אמנם היה נס והאיברים לא היו מתקלקלים.
Cooled off the meat, yeah.
יש לנו פה מלח. מים המלח במקרה הזה.
המלח היה בתוך כלי? זה לא היה בכלי?
לפי מה שאני מבין זה הרימה של מלח.
אצלנו בסרט, ב-AI זה היה בכלי.
היה יודע, סתום. מתעדכן כל יום הוא מתעדכן.
ואיפה שמים את המלח? על הכבש?
אז היה רימה של מלח באמצע הכבש, פה הם מולכים את האיברים ואז עולים
There was
וזורקים
a bunch
אותם.
of amount of salt in the middle of the ram.
And also here for the menoches on the oil הסוף שרבתה, שלא היה פה מקום לאויל הסוף, היו עושים פה אויל הסוף, אז היו מולכים אותה גם כן.
אוקיי. ישקוי הגול מאוד, תודה רבה, אתה לא צריך לשאר. אתה לא חייב לשאר. בסדר, כן, לעברית, אבל אתה יכול להסתובב, לעשות מה שאתה עושה, כן. טוב, ישקוי הגול מאוד. איך קוראים לך עוד פעם?
שמואל ששון.
ואתה עושה, אתה רבה בחיידר? מה אתה...
ראיתי שללמוד בלי לראות,
כן.
זה לא...
יש לך עוד כלים או שזה...
יש לי עוד המזבח ש...
רגע, אז אתה בנית או שהבאתם מישהו לבנות?
בניתי, הבאתי מידות לנגר, והנגר עשה לפי מידות.
כמה זמן לקח לך לבנות כזה?
תקופה, כל פעם שהייתי צריך טרפיה קצת הייתי...
רגע, show him our little guy for a second. תגיד לנו איך אנחנו יכולים...
זה עם הפס הכחול והאדום, אומרי.
כן, אתה מכיר את זה כבר, אה?
ראיתי, עברנו קצת, וואו.
אני עשיתי, אני אמרתי, חייבים, אני רציתי שיראו את הסובב, אז אני הרסתי את זה קצת. מה אפשר לעשות יותר טוב? לא, זה גם מעץ כזה. אחד.
יש לי עוד מזבח, המזבח שהראית עם הציפור בווידאו, זה גם מזבח שלי. עם הציפור שעושה מליקה.
כן, ראיתי אותו.
אז זה גם מזבח.
כן?
חבר שלי, אם אתה רוצה אולי להביא גם אותו עם ציפור.
לא, אני צריך לקנות את זה ממך, בשלום ישראל. לא, אבל הוא אחד עבד קשה על זה. מה אפשר לעשות? הנה, הוא עושה פס אפילו. אבל זה אני כן שיטין, אני יכול... אפשר לעשות את זה יותר יפה, אה?
יש שתי דעות.
We can improve this. Anybody good with their hands? We'll make it a little nicer. Okay, boy say, wow. Okay, so we don't have a lot of time, and we're barely gonna finish today's daf or yesterday's daf. Let's see what we got here. So real quickly, first of all, I have to say Akar Satoiv. It's starting to fill up. We're aiming for another like $75,000, and we're well on our way. So here's a brand new guy for $15,000, anonymous. Ishkoyach. Lil Shishi Wars at the USA Shear Watch locations, East Coast versus West Coast, Staten Island. Look what Staten Island, look at this, with the meat, the ganze Zach. Don't get hungry. This pair is kind of leaving out there in Torah anytime, bringing more people to the Daf Yishkoyach Torah anytime. I got to say thank you. Hakar Satov to them. We have thousands of you a day. I don't know how many, like 4,000 or 5,000 by Torah anytime a day, so Yishkoyach. Unfortunately, I'm not going to read emails because of everything that's going on over here. So you know what? We'll just jump into, I'm going to show the emails so you can see that I really have emails, but I'm not reading them. Here. Oh, so the Mizbe'ach is sponsored by David Solomon, dedicated memory of Avi, Moiri, Reb Shmuel, Baruch, Ben, Reb Chaim, Tzvi, Doi, Zochron, Levracha. Mizbe'ach is sponsored anonymous, Nishmas, Doi, Shlomi, Yehuda, Zochron, Levracha, Ben Shmuel, Chaim, Zochron, Levracha, Shoka, Veloma, Kodesh, Kol Chayav. Anonymous, Zech, Nishmas, Nochem, Tzvi, Ben David. Sponsored by Skyber Capital, in honor of our friends, Meir Kovacs, Taki, and Shamshi Shlavrak, for the devotion to Torah study, and the share. Joel Gedalius, Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. Anonymous, Hatzlach, Baruch, Nisim, Gashmias. MDY Coffee Corner, Meshulam Deir, with hearts full of gratitude to Hashem, on my wife, Shalama's Basleh Chana's recovery. Wow. Yavaldik. I don't know the story, but it sounds great. Monthly sponsors, Anonymous, Baruch Adlidai, for Tzvinisim ben Shoshana Leah, Yehuda ben Yom ben Chava, Tzvi Jacobs, for Refuah Shlema, for Baruch Bat Chana. No, that's somebody else, Leah Chana. Anonymous, please dive for Refuah Shlema, for the world's best dad, Aaron ben Chaya Sara. Weekly sponsors, Ushi Weissman, to Anonymous by Anonymous, in memory of Anonymous. Alan Khan, in memory of my mother, Yocheved Mina Bat Avram. Daily sponsors, Anonymous, Mazel Tov, engagement of Effie Vogel to Sima Green, daughter of fellow MD Wire, Reb Michal Green, Mazel Tov. Wow. This, I did not see, boys, I did not see this. Who's Michal Green? Shalom Aleichem, Reb Michal Green. Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. Wow. You look young. Is this your first one? First again? Listen, there's a kiss from Hashem. This is the first time I saw this. Aberenet l'chvoid rebelli shlita. I'm wearing the tie that the first time I'm ever wearing this tie, Abba Renner bought me this tie. It's one of the Quindicis, because I like Quindici, he knows it. You can't buy them anymore, they don't sell them. I guess he got one somewhere, I don't know where, brand new in a box.
1987.
It could be. Yeah. I don't care what it is, it's Quindici. I wear Quindici. Oh, no. The ones they sold last year, brand new, were Paisley. Yeah, that's, you gotta get with it. Yonatan Hillel, Vayishkoach Reb Abba Rennert. Yonatan Hillel, somebody else, Elkan, but I wasn't sure if it's Yoeli Elkan or Yoni. I think it's Yoeli, but it said Yoni. Sent me, it was perfect timing because my son invited his friends from his yeshiva. I told my wife, my friends are coming. I think she knew. 7 guys show up for Shabbos, and this Elkan guy, it says Yoni, but I think it's Yoeli. He sent something from Crunch from Yerushalayim, just like 3 types of schnitzels with all these sauces, geschmack, whoever you are, I'll find out exactly, but it was geschmack, like it added to the guys. Plus we had zezis, you know zezis? Yonatan Hillel, in honor of my incredible parents, they should be blessed with many grandchildren, amen. And the Wayard. Anonymous, with the 4 Shlema of Rivka Naomi Basel Sheva Batya. Month. Ruach Shlema, Rabbi Isa is here in the house today. Mazel tov, thank you for coming. Refuah Shlema, Yehonatan Eitam, Ben Basheva, Bracha, Amen. Refuah Shlema, Mordechai ben Esther. Refuah Sayeled, Daniel Zev ben Ayel Esther, Rabbi Isai, here we go. Let me ask you a question, Rabbi Isai. What do you guys think? You're new, no? Something like that, okay.
Barely before we start.
Who, what? Oh, you're talking to me on this microphone? If you get powered, I need to be able to talk from my house. Rabbi, so what do we have? London? And who else?
Manchester.
London and Manchester. Wow, Shalom Aleichem, guys. Beautiful. Satellite locations. Be'ez Hashem, we're planning a trip to the UK. I don't know when, but we gotta get there again. A question I have for the Olam. If a Yisrael performs Malika, does the Malika have the power like a typical Malika? So we spoke about a Malika. You do Malika, you go through the neck, and you find out that it's a treifa, and we're going to see. But let's say, forget that. You do Malika, you did it in the wrong place in the Beis HaMikdash, and the carbon is possible. We said the Malika helps that the Tumah leaves that. There's no Tumah on the animal. What if a Yisrael performs the Malika? Does it have the same power that there's no tum in the animal? What do you guys say? No. It doesn't have a power. What if instead of doing Milika Shalom Aleichem, what if instead of doing Malika you use a knife to do the Malika? Does it have the power to remove the tumah? No, a kohen. Instead of using his fingernail, he uses a knife. You say no. What if you do Malika outside of the Beis HaMikdash? Does it have the power? No. Everything no. Is there anything yes? No. So for that we need to see the Mishnah. There are things that are yes and there are things that are no. Kol ha'psulim shemolku, all the people that are apostle. We have to see what it means. All the people that are apostle. So let's say, Daf Samach Ches Amud Aleph. Daf Samach Ches Amud Aleph. Today's Daf Samach Tes, by the way. And we're on Amud Aleph. Wow. But have no fear because the Ayins are here. Exactly. Ayin Aleph is here. Take a look at Ayin Aleph. I don't know if you can see it on your phone, but it's only 2 lines. It's one of these amudim that the Belzer's wife knows Baal Peh. She always says, I want to learn Amud Baal Peh. He gives her one of these. No problem. Here we go. Oh, I was supposed to show this. Oh, that's in the next year. I'll show it. Okay. That thing that he sent me from Pargod. I saw it from other people. He puts it on his status. I'll show Pargod status. I think it's called Pargod, no? Yeah. I got it from him. I got it from you. I got it from a bunch of people. I got it from... Who did I get it from? I don't even know. Anyway. Tzvika sent it first? Yeah, Tzvika sent it first. Okay. So anyway, Kol ha'psulim shemolku. What's a puzzle? For instance, a guy that lost a parent that day. He's Oynan. And he did Malika. Malika is some psula. However, it has the power, it still has enough koyach in it. We consider it a malika to the point where this animal, this bird is not tameh. So if you eat it, But typically you eat a kosher bird that's an avela. And if you perform Malika outside of Beis HaMikdash, it's an avela. The nevela is matama Beis HaBliya. It's an interesting halacha, one of a kind, that you touch it, nothing. But if you put it in your mouth, you're matama Beis HaBliya. It's not an interesting question. If you touch a cow that was run over by a car, you become tamei. If you pull it, you become tamei. What if you take a piece of meat, somebody takes a piece of meat of a cow that's tamei, and opens up your mouth with pliers and puts it in the back of your mouth? Do you become tamei?
No.
If you swallow it, you become tamei. That's what you say. We have a machlokes here. Moshe Leiner is machlok on you. So we'll see. It's a halacha only, hint, only by a bird. If you take an available bird and you put it in the back of your mouth, you become tamei, but if you touch it, not. Both ways are a chiddush. That the fact that you touch it, you don't become tamei, and the fact that you put it in the back of your mouth, you do become tamei. Malak b'smar. What if a person, the kohen, does the malika with his left hand? Doesn't seem like such a bad thing. Or b'layla. You do it at night. Shouldn't do malika at night. Shachat chul mifnim. Or you take a bird and you shecht it inside. Shecht it with a knife inside the Beis HaMikdash with a knife. V'kachim b'chutz. Or you shecht kachim b'chutz. Ein ha'matamas b'Beis HaBliya. At the end of the day, the shechita has enough power to remove the tumah, whether you do it inside the Beis HaMikdash or outside the Beis HaMikdash. If you do a shechita in the shlachtois, how do you say shlachtois in English? Slaughterhouse. That's how we say it? That's how the Bible says it? Do they like to say slaughterhouse instead of shlachtois? I don't like slaughterhouse. Shlachtois. Say it like a mensch. Yeah, shlachtois. Slaughterhouse. That's a maratzim. Same people that say, when's class tonight? Doesn't believe they say slaughterhouse. The rest of us.
It's in the kill box.
Oh, fine. So shechita has a power, obviously. So even if you didn't, you were wrong for doing shechita with chulin, you shechted a chicken inside the Beis HaMikdash, you shouldn't. It still removes the tumah, and you should definitely not take a bird that's designated as an oila and take it outside and shecht it. What you did, the shechita has enough power to remove the tumah. Malak b'saki, and here goes a whole other category. If you use the knife. That's nothing. Using a knife in the back side of the neck, that's no different than taking a gun and shooting in the back of the neck.
Why is it called malika?
Because he did an action of malika. It's the same action, but it's not malika, right? It's not. Malak be'egdach, be'roiva. It's the same thing. It's trying to tell you, even though it's in the back of the neck, it's in the same spot as malika, nothing. It's a sakin, it's a knife. No good. Malak chulin b'fnim. If you perform malika on a non-kachim bird, you took a bird who wasn't designated as anything, and you did a malika on him. What did that Italian say? I'm going to do a malika on you. No, didn't he say malika? Now I'm confused. No. The guy in front of the garage told me, I'm going to do a shaluchan on you. That's what he said. I'm going to do a shaluchan. Okay, fine. You don't know the story? Okay, different time. I touched this Italian guy's bumper, touched it. Because in New York, that's the minhag. You just give it a little touch. And you're not supposed to, and they have these bumper things. Only in New York they sell it. That a bumper cover, like a padding. So when they do it, so I gave him a little touch. So he comes out, he says, yo, Tony, what should we charge the guy? Yo, boss, 500. 500? Okay, 500. Listen, give me $500. So I didn't scratch. Listen to me, $500. He says, if you don't give me $500, I said, I don't have on me. He says, listen, okay, go home, bring it back. I know where you live. And if you come back without giving me $500, I'm going to do a shilukin on you. I never heard the word in my life, but I understood what it meant. I went home, I brought $500. I gave him $500. My father gave me the $500, gave it to him, and I'm still alive. The garage is still around, probably, no? You know, anybody from New York? The garage, they sell all these suits in the basement over there. The garage, it fell off the truck. They have, $5,000 suits for $100. I don't know what happened. It just came here. It's cheap today. Okay. Tony, he still is outside over there. That's how he makes his money. People it's a whole shilukin. He does shilukins. Malak v'sakin. Malak chulim b'fnei v'kachim b'chutz. I have no idea why I thought, I was in the middle of Malika. I thought he said, I'll do a Malika on you. Malak chulim b'fnei v'kachim b'chutz. So he did a Malika of chulin inside the Beis HaMikdash, terrible stuff. Or he did a Malika on a kachim, on a kodesh bird outside of the Beis HaMikdash. It doesn't work. Toirin shelo yigiz manon. You have these birds. The Torah, there's two types of birds. We have the young pigeons and the older doves. So if they're not old enough, or the pigeons are too old, the ugly ones. Shiyav shagapa, or its foot fell off basically. Shenis maseina, or it became blind. So very interesting. So the Rashi says over here, look at Rashi. It's missing a limb. Now, missing a limb is different. We know that it's very hard to make a treif on a bird. But if missing a limb is different. Why? Says Rashi. And where do we have this pasuk? This week's Haftarah. You don't bring, nobody in the right mind is going to go to a king and say, hey king, I brought you a gift, and give him a bird without a leg. A blind bird. So when we say that, did you know that there's no male and female by birds? There are, but we don't care about it. There's no such thing as the oil has to be a zachar typically, not by a bird. We don't check. And there's no tamos. It doesn't have to be whole. That's the linear. That's on cataracts with the kamrian. But a missing limb, no. I call upon him. Sheyav shagapa means that its wing dried out. Shenismas eina, that its eye is blinded. Vishenikta ragla, and its foot fell off. Mitame beis habliya. All these are not a good malika, and therefore it's considered that you have an avela in front of you and you put a piece of meat of this bird in your mouth, you become tameh. Zaklal, says the Mishnah, Kol shepsuli b'kodesh, if what happened was in the Beis HaMikdash regarding Kedusha, einu mitam beis habliya. Then even though it was the wrong thing, you did it with your left hand or whatever, you shouldn't have done it, but it has the power to remove the tumah. Let's say the psul was in the body of the animal, the body of the bird. It doesn't have an eye, all these things. It was too young, too old. Then mitam beis habliya, the malika doesn't work. Omer Rav. This is what we saw in the Mishnah. The left hand at night, at least it has enough power to remove the tumah. Zar v'sakin, but when you have a Yisrael, a Zar, or like a Oinen, a Aral, Zar v'sakin, sorry, Zar it means Yisrael, v'sakin. And the knife, mitam beis habliya. Says Gemara, Ma'ishna small. Why? What's the svar to say the left hand has some power in it? This is the Echsher b'Yom Kippur. We see in the avodah of the Yom Kippur, once in a while the Kohen Gadol uses, once a year he uses his left hand. So it's not the end of the world, left hand. So Mela, over here also we're going to say it's not the end of the world. And what about night? We know that you throw the Ivarim onto the Mizbe'ach even at night. Says Gemara, Zarnami is le'echsher b'shchita. Wait a minute. But Yisrael, we know that even a woman could do shchita in the Beis HaMikdash. So what's wrong with a zar? Why? For the same svar that he's saying that the left and the night is okay, because one time we allow it. Oh, you know what? One time we allow a zar to do shchita. Says Gemara, shchita lav avoida hi. Shchita is not an avoida. I'll share with you the story because I said it, I think, in the Hebrew shir. I just liked it a lot. It was a geshmak and ma'aseh for me. When the Briskerov came to Eretz Yisrael, he was considered the Gal Adar. He had a time that he was mamish, the only one, like the Gal Adar in Eretz Yisrael, when after the Chazon Ish was nifter. Rabbi Issachar Meltzer, another Gal Adar, came to visit him. And people noticed that he wouldn't go in to see the Briskerov. So they said, what's going on? He says, I'm waiting for everybody to leave. So they, you're waiting for everybody to leave? So they kicked everybody out, and he went in. But they said, nobody could go. He said, I don't want anybody to come in. There's one bacher mechutzef who snuck in and hid like under the table or something. And this bacher says, what happened? This is Melza says, Shalom Aleichem, the Rav, whatever. He says, I brought you a sandwich. I figured that you're probably hungry. You just came from Chutz La'aretz, and you're seeing all these people for a long time. I brought you a sandwich. He says, the olives, it's an olive sandwich, and the olives I took Trumas and Maestros. Don't worry, I took it to the highest level. Here's something to eat. I thought it was a great story. He's thinking about somebody else, thinking how's that person feeling? Right now, he's starving. But he's seeing people. He's going to say, I'm starving? Stop. I brought you a sandwich. Anyway, and then I said, oh, what about that bacher, the mechutzef? Without the mechutzef, we wouldn't have had the story. So sometimes it's good to be mechutzef. Yeah. Says the Gemara. So what do you bring me a rye from Shechita, says the Gemara. Shechita lav avodah. It's not even avodah. The law, if a rye, I'll tell you, chulin, anything. You have to do Shechita in the shlachtais, like that shaykhid that came, told you the story. Drove 4.5 hours each way, right? I told you the story? Yes. Veloy! Every chicken today needs a shchita. That means it's not an avodah. It's even for chulin. Veloy, v'amar b'zeira, shchita's para b'zor p'sula. If it's not an avodah, how come a Yisrael can't shecht the para aduma? Says the Gemara, Umachmi Rav Allah and Rav Shor, Elazar, v'chuka. It says in the Torah, we know that para aduma, it says chuka. It's just a chayk. We don't know the reasons, but it's Elazar. It has to be bnei Aaron. Shani part of the kachim bedek habayisi. You know why you need a kohen? Because it's for the upkeep. It's like it has a similar kedusha. It's not kachim kalim. It's not kachim. It's a lesser kedusha called bedek habayisi. You need a kohen. As the Gemara, that makes no sense what you're saying. Like called the chaynu. So that's a kavachomer. Kachim bedek habayis baguuna. If like the lesser of the less, which is the money for the upkeep of the Beis Hamikdash or the temple, as some of you guys are going to call it, the slaughterhouse, the temple. Kachim bedek habayis baguuna. Kachim is Mizbe'ach. Mibaya, certainly, what do you say? Kachim Mizbe'ach, Mibaya. So certainly for the Kachim and the Mizbe'ach. Omer Rav Shesha the Ravidi, Midav Amaris Negoim. Oh, we have somebody who gets saras. And how do you know if it's saras or not? You have to go to a kohen. It could be mamish and amar, it's kohen, but it has to be a kohen. He looks at it, he says, you go mechutz l'machna. The lav avodahi. It's not considered an avodah. Ubai kuna. Here we have a little video for you guys. I don't know if you're aware. If you live under Iraq, so there was a big deal here in Eretz Yisrael. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to talk about it. B'chlal. It grosses me out. But there was a big verdict this week, and here goes.
I'm standing here by Punovich. Soon we'll tell you some hot Lashon Hara you haven't yet heard regarding the behind the scenes of the arbitration ruling. What is this?
It's not good to talk about the shtosim. V'neilim Bama, as the Gemara, why don't we learn from Bama? Oh, so we have some new Bamas. Well, actually, we did Bama a few times, but nevertheless, there's Bama. Actually, here's a real Bama. They claim it's a real Bama. They found this. It's 1,000 years old, thousands. Bama is when there was a certain kufa, a certain time in Klal Yisrael where they didn't have the Beis Hamikdash. You're allowed to shecht karbanos in your backyard. They found these stones. They decided it's a bama. It's okay. It's in the museum of I don't know what here in Israel. And also we have this bama, of course.
I serve. Got it. Coming back at you.
Hey, I told you, don't mess.
Okay, right there. I don't remember seeing that one before. Is it a? The end is new? Okay. By the way, just the Malika, so this is new technology that came out on Friday in AI, I'm not kidding. Yoshi took a picture, a screenshot of me holding a fake pigeon in shear, and he was able to manipulate it so you could see, he was able to get the feet right there, the wings over there, and then the nail. He was able to control it. It's like a new level of control in AI. It's very difficult to control, and it's getting better. Here it is. Wow. No, it's the idea is to get that, to start drawing and then telling him to hold a pigeon and with the took it off a picture, and then the rest he told it to do like a coin. Anyway, v'neilef from Obama. Let's learn from Obama that what? That there's no tuma when you do Melika with a Yisrael. Says Gemara, Obama lo yolef. I can't learn from Obama. Why? Because Obama there's no connection between Obama and Beis Hamikdash. Obama is considered like mundane, like choil compared to the Beis Hamikdash. As Gemara, the famous video that if carbon went outside of the Beis Hamikdash and you brought it back in and you put it on the Mizbe'ach, lo yered, you don't take it off. How did I learn it? It's a kosher with Bama. Because Bama is outside of the Beis Hamikdash and it's kosher. So you see, I do learn things from a Bama to the Beis Hamikdash. Says the Gemara, remember this answer because we're going to say it twice today. I hope, if we ever get there. Tana, azois taris ha'oila samachlei. No, I'm not learning from a Bama. I'm learning from the pasuk azois taris ha'oila. Bama is just a great it's like a raya. It's an asmachta. That's the Gemara's answer. The main lima to learn yoitza lo yered is from a pasuk zois taris ha'oila. Okay. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, and Rabbi Yochanan argues. He says zor emetame beis habliya. When a Yisrael does a malika, it's good enough to get rid of the tumah. Not like Rav says. And how does he learn it? From Bama. Sakin metame beis habliya. But if you use a knife, it's zero. You made that makes sense, no? Using a knife, like Betty said, it's not malika. I don't know what it is. It's mamish. You're making it a treifa, of nevela. Tanan. We learned in the Mishnah, kol hapsulim shemolku milikasam psula. All. What does it all mean? All the guys that are apostle. Mishnah Rabbi Yochanan kol yizar. Okay, so not only a oynan, but even a Yisrael. El Rav who says that a zar is not good. El Rav kol asuyimai. What does he do with the word kol? What does kol mean? What does it come to add? Lasuyi small v'layla. Kol psulim. It's interesting. Not a type of a person, but a type of malika with the left hand. A person does it with his left hand, or he does it at night. Even though it's possible, no tuma. It removes the tuma. As Gemara, if you look at the Mishnah, small v'layla behedik tani. Look at the Mishnah. Kol psulim shemalkim l'gasim psula. V'nei davei malak b'smoil or b'layla. And the Mishnah goes on. It's the second line in the Mishnah. Small and Laila. So what are you telling me that the word kol means small and Laila? It's in the Mishnah itself. It says the Gemara, small and Laila be'edik tani v'adam mefarish. You're right. It does say it in the Mishnah, but first it says it in the word kol, and then later on no, I'm looking for tzmarba. Spans a little bit. Okay, fine. Whatever the word is. Toshma. Zaklal. Says in the Brisa, Kol shahoya psuli b'kodesh, ein metama begadim ha'beis habliya. Just to explain what this word begadim means. Begadim is a very severe tumah. Meaning, typically speaking, if I touch a dead cow that was run over by a car, I become tamei. My body becomes tamei, but my clothing not. By a bird, so if you touch it, you don't become tamei at all. But if you put it in your mouth, you become tamei. Not only do you become tamei, but your clothing becomes tamei. That's a severe tumah. So that's what it means. So over here in this brayso, the kol comes to explain the Yisrael. Once again, the same question. What does it come to do for Rav? According to Rav, Yisrael doesn't remove the tumah. Now we got to go in the reverse. How do you explain the opposite? It says if the problem wasn't in Kodesh, wasn't in the Beis Hamikdash, what does it come to add? if you shecht a bird, kachim, bifnim. So over here, we have to remember this idea. They go together. Im Allah layered. You remember this idea from the video? If something goes on the Mizbe'ach, certain things don't come off. Layered. So if it doesn't come off, that itself is like an indication that there's no tumah. It's powerful enough. If it goes on, it doesn't come off. Doesn't come off, meaning you remove the tumah. Seiva la'asuyei melikas chulin b'chutz. But if you do a malika of a chicken outside of the Beis Hamikdash, that's mamish killing it, that's murder, that's creating an avela, and there is tumah. Hold on, I think we have a video here. Let's see, what's this? Let's know, something else? Okay, we'll wait for later. Says Gemara Tani Geba say the Rabbi Yochanan, I have a mefurish brayso like Rabbi Yochanan. It says in the brayso, Molka Zar. That's it. That's what we're looking for. That's the case that we're talking about. If a Yisrael does Malika, according to Rabbi Yochanan, it removes Tuma. That's what it says at the end. But we're going to say a few more halachas in between. Malaka Basel, or somebody who's puzzled like a Aiden, a Aral, Hapigul v'hanoisar v'atome. When it comes to Pigul, the guy thought about Pigul and Noisar is left over and Tomei. Even though you had a thought while you're doing Malika, you thought about Pigul, and that's real quickly. If it doesn't create a Pigul, then if the Malika is not good at all, then it can't be Pigul. They're totally zebazeh. How can I make Pigul? If I take a gun and I shoot a cow, and I think while I'm shooting him that I'm going to eat this cow in 5 days from now, is that pigul? No. It has to be an avodah, it has to be a shchita, it has to be kabbalah zrika. So if I do milika, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to eat this in 5 days from now, is it pigul? Well, it depends. If the milika works, then it's pigul. So over here we're saying it must work in order for it to be pigul. It's totally zebazet. And that's why we're saying it is good, the milika is good, it makes it pigul. And therefore it removes the tumah from this bird. I heard two things, and I don't remember what I heard exactly. What the halach is. I heard achas kmisat zar. I heard about a Yisrael going into the Beis Hamikdash, going like this, taking 3 fingers worth and making a kmitza out of a mincha. V'achas milika zar. And one I heard halacha about a Yisrael performing milika. Achas tered, v'achas lo tered. One comes off the Mizbe'ach and one doesn't. And I don't remember what. If you had a guess, which one is it? Which one could stay on the Mizbe'ach? If it's one out of the two, Yisrael doing a mincha or Yisrael doing milika?
Mincha's probably hard to remove.
Why? Oh, because physically it's a bunch of flour? No, they had a Dyson over there. No, please. A broom. What?
I think Malika would be easier because it's hard to do shchita, so maybe it's similar.
Okay, I hear. So let's see what it says. It makes sense, like you're saying, the kmitza should go off, Malika stays on. Malika leitered. Ma'ishna Malika, why? The Yeshna Mabama. Malika is different. Why? Because I can do Malika by a Bama. So kmitza nami Yeshna Mabama. But so I could do the same mincha on a bama in my backyard in the time of when a bama was mutter. But if you're going to tell me that, no, malika there is a by a bama but not mincha, and it's not me bama. If there's no mincha, then there's no birds. They're dependent on each other. If you say there's no mincha, the sheet that says there's no minachos, and if there's no mizbeach, you don't bring a mincha, then you don't bring a bird. And if you do bring a bird. My taima, and he brings a raya, it says by a bama, Zevachim v'lo menachos, Zevachim v'lo yoifes. Ela, ema ein kiddush b'kli shares b'mincha b'bama. So there's a kli. Maybe this is the original because it keeps on going. I remember he fixed that. There's like 40 pounds of flour coming out of his head. Okay, the point is, stop right there. The point is, since there's no vessel by a bama, obviously the guy in his backyard that has a little thing, he doesn't have a golden vessel for klishars, so Mela, a Yisrael doesn't passel. But if you do have, Bekitzer, That's why a mincha is different. But milika, that you could do by a bama outside, is a raya that Yisrael is good. Don't bring me a raya from a mincha. I'll show you real quickly this video. Here we go.
הבא בתור.
מי פה אחרון? וואי, איזה תור גדול. שמע אחי, אני לא מחכה את כל התור הזה. אני בסך הכל צריך מדיקה לעולת העוף. ואני צריך להקטיר את הקומץ של המנחה. זה לוקח דקה. יש לי רעיון, אני מכיר דרך קיצור. בוא איתי.
קדימה, אין זמן. בוא נעשה את זה.
הרימו ידיים! אתם זרים! אסור לכם לקמוץ! אסור לכם למלוק! קדימה! למעלה! תעצרו!
Stop. Music, violin,
תעצרו מיד! אל תעלו! אתם צריכים לרדת!
לא יורדים! לא יורדים!
זה לא הוגן. ראיתי ב-MDY שאם עלו, לא ירדו.
הקומץ שלך חייב לרדת, אבל עולת העוף של חבר שלך יכולה להישאר למעלה. נו, תצא לדרך.
Very nice. Okay. Everyone likes it. Okay. Zog the Gemara. Where are we holding? Oh, we have 1 minute to finish Talmud. Malay b'smala b'layla. It says in the Mishnah that if you perform the malika with your left hand or at night, it removes the tumah. Tana Rabbanan. Yachatei malika shilifnim metama begadim b'misabliya. So it's interesting. Rashi here doesn't say this, but they bring a Rashi ksav yad over here on the side that says we're talking about a malika that's possible. Rashi says we're talking about a noila, okay, and they say that this is not the real Rashi, this is the real Rashi. Okay, lo b'shaneh. The point is, okay, according to this ksav yad, because the Art Scroll and the Mesivta both bring this as the original pshat, that I would think that if you perform a malika that's possible, they put in the word possible, shilifnim, that's inside the Beis Hamikdash, mitam v'gadim Beis Habliya. I think that it doesn't work and you become tamei, even your clothes become tamei. Tamaloi mar nevela. Nevela means to exclude a malika. It's only nevela, but not if you did malika. Hanami nevela, but maybe this is considered nevela because you performed the apostle malika. El tamaloi mar treifa. Oh, it says treifa. Now I'll throw out a quick story, very, very quick. A guy went to a Rav in America, and he told him, or in Europe, he told him he has this disease. So the Rav told him, you need to move to Eretz Yisrael. He says, so what connections have to the disease? He said, because what you have is considered a treifa, according to the Ramah. But in Eretz Yisrael, they go according to the Shulchan Aruch. It's not a treifa. Go there, and of course, he lived happily ever after. More than 9 years, 90 years. Ma treifa, says the Gemara. Ma treifa she'im materes eso isur, afkol she'im materes eso isur. We learn from treifa. Treifa doesn't create a heter and anything that's asur. So to nevela, it's not matter the isur. Yotze malika shilifnim, but malika, which is inside the Beis Hamikdash, havi materes eso isur. It's able to be matter isur. Interesting. What does it matter? What does malika matter if you think about it? You have a kosher bird. What exactly is it matter? It's matter a live bird that goes on the Mizbe'ach. If a live bird went on the Mizbe'ach, yerdu, it would have to come off. Malika allows it to stay on the Mizbe'ach. And therefore, it removes the tumah of the mouth. Hevi hamoilek, kachim bachutz. Now, hevi means, it says over here, Avi hamoilek, I'll bring the case of somebody who does malika on kachim outside, or moilek chulin, or somebody does malika on a non-carbon, maybe flim, maybe chutz, doesn't matter where he does it. What happens if you put a bird, you take a regular bird, and instead of doing shchita, you use your nail in the back of its neck. You take a chicken and you put it on the Mizbe'ach. Yered or lo yered? Imolu yerdu or lo yerdu, Rabbi Zai? Yerdu. So Mela, it's not matter the Isser, it doesn't have the power. In that case, in fact, because again, I told you it's connected. If they have to come off the Mizbe'ach, then they have Tumah. If they don't have to come off the Mizbe'ach, they don't have Tumah. Tanya Yidach, something similar. I would think that the shechting, not Malika Rabbi, shechita of chulin inside the Beis Hamikdash and kachim outside of the Beis Hamikdash. I would think there's Tumah. No, only in Avela. Hanami in Avela, but doing Malika like that creates an Avela. I learned from the word treifa. We're going to see tomorrow also treifa is an extra word. Says Gemara, ma, and we learn. Ma treifa shava b'fnim. Kibachotz, they have to be symmetric. If inside and outside have to be the same. So over here, by treifa, both of them are also. It doesn't matter if you bring a treifa inside the Beis Hamikdash. Outside the treifa is also. Afkal, so to nevela, shavis b'fnim kibachotz. They have to be equal. Yatsa shchitas chulin b'fnim, b'kachim bein b'fnim and b'chutz, and that comes to exclude shechting a mundane bird inside the Beis Hamikdash, and kachim inside and outside, and the Gemara is going to explain what it means. Since they're not symmetric, there's no tumah. So the Gemara, what do you mean? We're going according to Rameir now. Now, the shechita of a bird inside, you can't say that the shechita of the bird inside becomes tamei. Why? Because outside is tar. You hear? If you shecht a bird outside of the Beis Hamikdash, tar or tamei? Tar. And they have to be the same. So if you do it inside the Beis Hamikdash, it has to be tar. They're not going to be equal. But when it comes to kachim, we're talking about birds, right? A bird that's kodesh, both of them are puzzle. So if both of them are puzzle, why did you tell me a second ago they're not equal? They are equal, they're both puzzle. In other words, Rav is saying you must say that the shechita is worth something. It does something. Why? Because if you take a shechita, if you shecht an animal outside of the Beis Hamikdash, you take a bird, you shecht it outside of the Beis Hamikdash. It was an oil bird. What's the halacha? You shecht it outside of the Beis Hamikdash, you get kares. So how can you tell me the shechita didn't do anything? It worked. It worked enough to give you kares. So that means it works. So if it worked, so certainly it should work to remove the tumah from an avela. So, and it continues, Ashkechon chutz pniminol, and that's a great svara outside of the Beis Hamikdash. What about inside? Because you have to make them symmetric, they have to be the same. So if you shecht kachim outside, if you do malika, do malika to kachim outside the Beis Hamikdash, to bird outside the Beis Hamikdash, it shouldn't be metama Beis Hamikdash. Why? Because the leishav pnim chutz, they have to be symmetric. And inside the Beis Hamikdash, it's not metama. So why outside? It makes more sense to learn one thing that you did wrong from another thing that you did wrong, rather than learning something that you did wrong from something you did right. In other words, kachim bird that was shechted inside, not properly. What's the halacha? That's shaloi kechshay, right? Like, yeah, that's shaloi kedin. Malika, and if you shecht it outside, that's inside, and you shecht it outside, both of them are not metama. Now, if you didn't do. But you cannot learn malika of kachim outside from malika of inside. Danim davar shlei bechsheroi, a bird that's kodesh inside that was shechted from a shlei bechsheroi, a bird that was kachim outside. And danim davar shlei bechsheroi, and you don't learn something that's not actually a bird outside with malika midavar shebechsheroi, with kachim that are inside, which is kosher. Ask Gemara real quickly. You see you do something like that. Why? Yoitze is you did it wrong. It's loy behechsher. How do you know that you don't take it off the Mizbe'ach? Sharia is kosher for Bama. But Bama is kosher. So you're learning something that's not kosher for something that's kosher. How could that be? And over here the Gemara says the same exact answer as I said before. No. That halacha of lo yerid I learned from a pasuk. I'm bringing it right from a Bama. You're right, it's kosher. And you're learning something that's not kosher, but that's just a smachta, not a real learning. He's really relying on the pasuk, not on the Bama. Rabbi Sai, have a good Voch.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.